Welcome to Python Programming Language video tutorials by Shine India Pvt Limited. I am your Posubabu Sir, technical, quant, logical reasoning trainer. In this presentation, I would like to discuss iterative control structures. Now, without further delay, let's start our class. So let me write it here. So we are going to discuss iterative control structures. So in my previous tutorials, I have discussed some programs on decision control structures. Now, let's discuss iterative control structures. So what is the role of this iterative control structures? So the role of this iterative control structures is to control the flow of execution. So it controls what? The flow of execution. Right? So in this iterative control structures, so we will be having what? Iterative statements. We will be having iterative statements. Right? So this iterative statements also called as a loop statements. Loop statements or iterative statements, both are same. So this one we can call it as repetitive statements also. Repetitive statements also. Right? So these are the different names we have. So we can call it as iterative statements or loop statements or repetitive statements. Right? So why we have to learn? So we will be getting one question in our mind. So why should we have to learn these statements? So why should we have to learn? So this iterative statements. So this iterative statements. So let me give you a small example which will be clearly make you to understand. So why should we have to learn these statements? Suppose if I have assigned a task to you, that is, so print Python on the screen for 3 times. So if I ask you to print Python on the screen for 3 times, the task is very simple. So immediately what you people will do? So you will open your IDE and then you may write here. So print statement, right? So let me write here, print. So you just try to write there Python. So this you want to print for how many times? 3 times. So let us copy it and paste for 3 times so that you will be getting the output as Python on the screen for 3 times. So task is quite simple. Suppose if I ask you to print it for 5 times, so you may paste for 2 more times, right? So you will be getting the Python on the screen, right? Now, problem arises when I have assigned the task is print Python for 1,000 times. If I ask you to print the same thing for 1,000 times, so if I ask you to print for 10,000 times, if I ask you to print the same thing on 1 lakh times on the screen, now problems will be arised, right? So these many times when I have given, so problem rises. So since it is a repetitive task, so hence we have to learn loop statements or iterative statements, right? So repetitive task, right? The task is repetitive. So hence we are going to learn these iterative statements or loop statements. So I hope idea is clear, right? Now, let us learn the definition of loop statement first. So let me go back to my presentation. So and learn what is a loop, right? So a loop is what? A block of code can be executed number of times. So I told you in the example, so 5 times we have to execute that statement, right? So we have to print Python on the screen for how many times? 5 times, right? So number of times. The block of code can be executed for how many times? Number of times. So here number means it might be 5 times, it might be 1,000 times, it might be 1 lakh times. So it's based on the requirement. So for example, I have written here 1,000 times. So I just want to print so Python on the screen for how many times? 1,000 times. So a block of code can be executed here 1,000 times. So until a certain condition is met. So when it reaches 1,000, so we have to come out from the loop. So that is what a loop. So a block of code can be executed number of times, right? So until the condition is met, then it is called as what? A loop or loop statement or iteration. So I hope it is clear. The definition is clear. Now let me make you to understand. So this definition using a pictorial diagram. So let me go back here. So next slide. So you just try to see this pictorial diagram, right? So here I have written the condition, right? So here the condition is what? For example, so I just want to print uh, Python on the screen for 6 times. Let's take. So for that, I'm going to take initially I equal to 1, right? So I have started with I value as 1. Now let me write here I less than or equal to 6. So why I have written 6 here? So the condition here, the condition is, so when it reaches 6, we have to come out from the loop, which means I just want to print the Python on the screen for how many times? 6 times. I just want to print Python on the screen for 6 times. So that I have written in the condition. So when I value reaches the 6, so we have to come out from this loop, right? So this is what the condition, right? So if this condition is true, right? So I value initially 1. So of that 1 comes over here, clearly 1 less than or equal to 6. So what happened? The condition is true. Let me click enter. Now, when I click enter, so it checks the condition is true or not. Yes, the condition is true. So in that particular case, what we have to do, a block of code can be executed. So here the code means what? So for example, so for our example, so I'm going to write here print Python. So this is what the block of code here. Only one line we have written. So it is up to you. You could write many lines as per your requirement, right? So now what will happen? So this will be executed. A block of code will be executed. So immediately what I will do is I will increase I value. So I'm writing here I equal to I plus 1. So previously I value is what? 1. Now using this statement, I will be updated. Now what is the I value? New I value is 2. So instead of this 1, now new I value is 2, right? Now what happened? Let me click enter. Now here, so control will go back to the condition. That is what an important thing here. So in decision control structure, so control never go back, right? What is happening here? So in loop statements, so once the condition is true, the block of code executed, the control will move back. So move back like this to where the condition again, right? So now what is the updated I value to? And it is going to check here. Is it 2 less than or equal to 6? Again, the condition is true, right? So now let me click enter. So when you click enter, the condition is true. Now again, so this code will be executed, which means you may see Python on the screen second time, right? Now again, I value will be updated. So previously I value is what? 2. Now this can be cancelled. Now I will be updated to 3, right? Now what is happening again? So again, it moves back to the conditions, right? Now what is the updated value of I3? Now again, it checks the condition. Now, if you observe here, if this condition is true, 3 less than or equal to 6, condition is true, again it moves to execute the block of code. Now, you may see Python on the screen third time, right? Again, I value will be updated. Now, previous I value is 3. Now, the updated I value will be 4. So, I hope everybody is clear, right? Now, you could click enter. Now, see, again, control move back to the condition. Now it checks instead of 3, 4 will be there. Now checks the condition. Is it 4 less than or equal to 6? Yes. So condition is what? Now again it is true. Now you could see condition again true. So condition true means again this Python you will be getting on the screen, which means the block of code will be executed, right? Now again I value will be updated, right? So which means instead of 4, now you will be having 5 on the screen, right? So I value will be 5, right? Now what is happening? Now again click enter. So this control will move back to the condition. So instead of this 4, now 5 will be there. Now again it checks the condition. Is it 5 less than or equal to 6? Yes, condition is true, right? Now condition is true. A block of code can be executed, which means fifth time you may see Python on the screen. Now again I value will be updated. Instead of 5, it becomes what 6. Now click enter, you could see, right? So and then again it moves to the condition, it checks it now. So instead of 5, now we have a 6. Is it 6 less than or equal to 6? Yes, condition is true. So when condition is true, now again what is happening over here? So this you may see on the screen. Means Python will be printed on the screen for what time? Sixth time. Again, I will be updated, which means so this 6 will be cancelled. Now I value is 7. Again, control moves back to the condition. Right? Now, what is the I value here? 7. Now let us check the condition. So is it 7 less than or equal to 6? No. Condition is what? False. When condition false, it will be comes out of the loop, and you may see Python on the screen for how many times? So this will be printed for how many times? 6 times. 6 times you may see it on the screen. So I hope everybody is clear with this explanation part, right? So if it is clear, now let's see what are the types of iterative statements we have. So let me write it here. So we have two types of iterative statements. So the first type is, let me write here, types. So in Python, we have two types of iterative statement. The first one is while and second one is for. So, right, so we are going to use for keyword and while keyword. So these two are the types of iterative statements which are available under the iterative control structures in Python. So I hope everybody is clear, right? So this for we can use it as for each as well, right? So for loop can be also treated as for each loop. So for loop means for each loop, right? So we have two types in Python. So one is while loop and second one is for loop or for each loop. So I hope everybody's understood what I have conveyed regarding iterative control structures. In my next video, I will explain while loop in detail. So I hope it is clear. So thanks for watching the video. If you understood my video, please like, share, and subscribe our channel. So thank you.